Good morning, friends. Welcome to Immanuel 10 at 10. It's a beautiful day today. Looks like we're going to be getting some more much needed rain over the weekend. So that's going to help our crops and everything else. Well, this week in our 1 year chronological Bible reading plan, we heard the end of King David's story in 2 Samuel and 1 Kings, as well as parallel passages in 1 Chronicles. David was coming to the end of his life. He planned to pass on his kingdom to Bathsheba's son Solomon, but another of his sons, named Adonijah, gathered some people and proclaimed himself king. So Nathan the prophet and Bathsheba spoke to David on his deathbed, and he had Nathan and Zadok the priest anoint Solomon as king. Adonijah was then afraid for his life, so he clung to the horns of the altar until Solomon said he wouldn't put him to death if he didn't dispute Solomon's claim to the throne. First Kings tells of David's final instructions to Solomon. He told him to honor the sons of Barzillai, who had supported him during Absalom's rebellion, but he also told Solomon to put to death General Joab, who had killed two Israelite generals and David's son Absalom. He also told Solomon to put to death Shimei, who was from Saul's family and had cursed David. David had not done anything to these guys during his own life, but he wanted to establish Solomon's rule by taking out anybody who might be in opposition. So the Bible very clearly shows that even King David was no saint. The only true hero of the Bible is God. First Chronicles, which was compiled during the Babylonian exile much later than First Kings, gives a long account of the plans and the materials David put together for the building of the temple. They likely wanted to highlight the importance of building the temple, since they were planning on rebuilding the temple when they came back from the exile. David and the people gave generously so that the temple would be richly appointed and be the focus of their worship life together. This week we also read several more psalms attributed to David. Of the 150 psalms in the Bible, 73 of them could have been written by David or for David. Other psalms were written by Levites like Asaph, the sons of Korah, Heman, and Ethan. Solomon and Moses also wrote a few, but 49 of the psalms are anonymous. The psalms alternate between lament and praise. Some of them express prayers of pain, confession, and anger. They they draw attention to what's wrong in the world and ask God to do something. It they complain about the way that they're being afflicted by their enemies and ask for God to step in. Other psalms are full of joy and celebration and draw attention to what's good in the world. They retell the story of God's faithfulness and give him thanks. Many of the psalms do both. The Psalms are the prayer book of God's people who are trying to be faithful to God's word and waiting for God's kingdom to come. In the description of this post, I am including links to two videos on the Psalms from the Bible Project that we'll be using in our adult class and our small groups. One of them looks at the art of biblical poetry. Nearly a third of the entire Bible is written in poetry, which ignites our imagination in ways that straight narrative cannot. The other video takes a close look at Psalm 8. That psalm speaks of the Son of Man, which can refer to a human being, humanity, or the Jewish people in general, or the Messiah. Jesus called himself the Son of Man, and Hebrews chapter 2 in the New Testament highlights Jesus' role as the Messiah who fulfills all of God's promises to be the true king over all creation. Well, this Sunday is Mother's Day, so our Kingdom kids and young disciples will share some music with us at the 10:45 service. We also have worship at 8:30 and our final Sunday school and adult class at 9:45. All of our worship services are live streamed, and we will continue providing Bible studies for you to use at home or with a small group throughout the summer. So have a wonderful weekend.